On July 30th, 2018, after being married for 25 years, I decided to check my wife's computer for the first time. Surprisingly, I discovered cloud-based photos on her Gmail account, including a D-pic of a man who had just finished himself off. This was deeply unsettling for me. To make matters worse, I found a text message in which my wife told the man to leave space on his body for a tattoo of her name, referring to herself as the love of his life. This prompted me to investigate further, and over the course of 4 hours, I assumed the role of a forensic detective. I uncovered several intimate pictures of my wife that I had never seen before. It seemed likely that she had sent these pictures to the same man who lived 16 hours away. As I delved into the situation, I learned that my wife had been friends with this man on Facebook for a decade. To my surprise, I discovered that he used to live near us around the same time they became Facebook friends. Initially, my wife denied everything, but when I confronted her with the information and expressed my distress, she confessed. It's important to note that this confrontation led me to make a threat of violence, something I had never done before in our relationship. She tells me that all communication was through phone calls or Facebook's instant messenger, and she claims to have stopped the online connection several months ago. What's surprising is that she insists it was solely to seek advice from another man on how to improve our relationship. Our relationship sometimes faces challenges due to life's pressures, but there has never been any cheating until now. I have a suspicion that she may have been involved with this man in a more intimate way when he lived near us a decade ago, around the same time they became Facebook friends. Even though I asked her about it, she denies any physical involvement and swears it was only superficial electronic communication. Honestly, I find it hard to believe her side of the story. I let her know that I wanted a divorce. In response, she switched to a mode where she insisted she only loves me and no one else. She started crying, begging, and asking for forgiveness while I packed my things. This situation has left me feeling angry, sad, and downright overwhelmed. It's consuming my thoughts, and I'm bouncing between intense feelings of anger and the urge to delve deeper into the forensic analysis of what happened. If anyone has thoughts or advice, please be honest. I'm at a point where I can handle it. It's unbelievable how everything you guys predicted about what she would say and do is actually happening. She's claiming I wasn't there for her, which is why she sought advice from another man to save our marriage, though it sounds like nonsense. She insists it wasn't an affair because there was no physical intimacy, and she's urging me to forget about it and move on because I'm supposedly her one and only. It's quite audacious of her to make such a statement. In an attempt to cover her tracks, she has changed her email password multiple times, shut down her Facebook account, and reopened it, probably trying to delete everything first. What's more, she gets angry when I want to clarify details. Interestingly, when I suggested taking a lie detector test, there was complete silence. I appreciate all your comments. They've helped me calm down and gain control over my emotions. Sincerely, thank you for that. Just so you know, my new friends, on the day I discovered the truth and confronted her, I had to leave the state the very next morning for a business trip that was already planned. This situation makes it even more challenging because I can't look at her with complete disgust while she lies to me. But to be honest, it probably kept me from ending up in jail. I've started reading other threads on this forum, and oh my goodness, people can be so cruel to each other. In comparison, I almost feel fortunate. It's baffling to me. Most people just want love, honesty, and the ability to be themselves with their spouse. How on earth do they think they'll get that from an affair with someone actively trying to destroy a family when they know the person is married? It's truly unbelievable and just makes me want to express my disgust. Now she's attempting to use my young children to make me feel guilty and reconsider leaving her. I can't help but wonder what new challenges I'll face when I get home tomorrow. On a proactive note, I've already planned a business trip to the area where he lives. During this trip, I intend to meet with his wife and show her printed copies of the evidence I've gathered face to face. It's a way to bring him into the discomfort that I'm experiencing. Additionally, I plan to send printed copies of the information to as many of his friends and family as I can locate mailing addresses for. I realize it may seem a bit childish in some ways, but I want him to feel the pain, and frankly, he would be getting off too easy in my opinion. Readers comment, "She's employing a manipulative tactic by involving the children, which is a common behavior for individuals who have strayed from their committed relationships. It's crucial not to fall for this manipulation. Whether you decide on divorce or reconciliation, strive to be a great father for your children. Her choice to cheat and disrupt the family is solely hers to bear. Now, it's important to focus on what's best for you and the children. Don't allow her to manipulate you through your feelings and love for the kids." When she was involved with the other man, she wasn't prioritizing the well-being of her children. They weren't at the forefront of her life. I apologize for being blunt, but using the innocence of the children to downplay the damage caused by an affair is truly despicable. Original poster, currently at the airport, and I'll be home in a few hours after being away for 4 days. I'll provide an update this weekend. Update on the week since discovering the truth. I returned from a business trip, and when we saw each other, we hugged and cried for about 15 minutes. After that, we composed ourselves to spend the rest of the evening with our 13 and 10-year-old kids, trying to act as normal as possible. Once the kids went to sleep, we started discussing the series of events that she claimed led to her engaging in a sexting-only affair, which I find hard to believe. This is where things take a surprising turn. She claimed her reason for sexting, still insisting it wasn't cheating, was due to her suspicion that, as a successful and good-looking construction manager with a lot of younger female staff, I might have inappropriate feelings or desires for these women. Honestly, that sounded like nonsense to me. What young woman wants an older man? It just doesn't add up. In essence, she's putting the blame on me for her actions, which is driving me even crazier. What's perplexing is that she gets genuinely angry with me to the point of suggesting we should end the relationship because I won't be able to forget about her affair. So I called her bluff and agreed with her decision. Suddenly she flips back to the "I still love you" scenario. This morning I was working on my computer in the den when I closed an Excel workbook just as she walked in. To my surprise, she accused me of hiding something from her. The audacity of this woman. I've even gone to the extent of installing spyware on her phone and computer. But living like that, always questioning if it will happen again, doesn't seem like a sustainable solution. However, I've come to a decision. I will inform the other man's wife so she's aware of the situation, and then I'm moving on, leaving him alone. Ultimately, he only did what she wanted him to do, and I need to place the blame where it truly belongs, on her. I'll provide another update in a week. I want to express my deep gratitude to this site and its members. Your shared experiences and support have been a lifeline for me, potentially preventing me from ending up in prison. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for helping me navigate through this difficult time. Now for an update 2 weeks later. I made the difficult choice to forgive her. She, of course, promised that it would never happen again and swore on a Bible that it was never physical. In the past 7 days, she has been nicer to me than she has been in the last 10 years of our marriage, and everything seems to be fine, at least on her end. She took steps to show her commitment by deleting all her male friends on Fuckbook, as well as her Instagram and Snapchat accounts. She even gave me access and passwords to her phone and computer anytime I want. However, I find myself unable to let go of the betrayal. Despite her efforts, all I can think about when I'm awake is what she did. My mind continues to race with thoughts about the content of their texts or videos to each other. She wants to be intimate every day, and for the most part, I force myself to go through with it, but I don't find any enjoyment in it. There's this constant nagging feeling that she's thinking about him during the act, and it's a really sad state for me. I do love my wife, but I'm finding it incredibly difficult to forgive her for what she has done. The only reason I'm even contemplating staying in this marriage is for the sake of my young kids and the financial strain it would put on all of us. However, I'm concerned that pretending everything is okay is just as damaging as what she did to me, especially considering I'm not getting any younger. Both of us will be attending counseling starting next week, and I hope this process will help me let go and forgive her completely so we can either move forward or make a decision about our future. I can't understand how people can hurt the ones they love so much, all for some temporary satisfaction. It's truly unbelievable. Reader comment: her behavior after being caught seems typical. Time will reveal if she can control herself. Would a polygraph test provide any comfort? Original poster: personally, I don't think a polygraph is necessary for me. The information I uncovered and what she has admitted already confirms that I was cheated on, and additional confirmation probably wouldn't change how I feel about the whole situation. However, you're right. The patterns leading up to, during, and after an affair are remarkably similar for both the ones who cheated and those who were cheated on. I have had thoughts about the possibility that my youngest might not be biologically mine, even though he looks just like me. I might have to look into it anyway. Update 21 days later. I'm making an effort to forgive her and move forward, but it's a constant struggle. I can't seem to get the images of the nude pictures I saw out of my mind, along with the hurtful words that were exchanged and the thoughts about what might have been said or done. This sends me right back into a rage, and the desire to leave resurfaces. In the next few weeks, I'll be seeking counseling for myself to see if that helps, because I can't endure living like this much longer. She believes everything is okay, that we are moving on, and she expresses her love for me daily, trying to show it. However, I'm finding it challenging to move forward. Perhaps it's because I suspect she hasn't shared all the painful details with me, and maybe I don't even want to know. But there's this constant feeling that I need to understand it all, no matter how agonizing. I doubt she'll ever reveal everything, and I suppose I need to decide whether to accept that or not. I'll update you after a few counseling sessions. Thanks for your support. Update: after almost 2 months, and individual counseling, I see, isn't helping me forget about what she did. Despite her being a perfect wife in every way since the discovery of the affair, I can't shake the sense of betrayal from my mind, and it's becoming unbearable to live like this. Regrettably, I'll be preparing for a divorce and hitting the road. The pain this will cause our family is going to be overwhelming, but I can't continue torturing myself. I appreciate everyone's kind and sometimes brutally honest advice. The truth is, in life, you have to ask yourself some tough questions, and in my case, the answer is no, I can't live with it. Reader comment: did your wayward wife ever admit that her affair was a physical one, or is she planning to keep it a secret forever? Original poster: she's planning to keep it a secret, and I doubt she'll come clean even when I leave. One thing I've learned from this website is that most cheaters continue to lie not only to their spouses, but even to themselves. I got 99 problems and that bitch ain't one. I moved out this morning while my wife was at a day spa that I had arranged for her. When she got home, I broke the news that I was leaving and filing for a divorce. The look on her face must have been something similar to the shock I experienced when I found out about her affair. Calling it a look of shock would be an understatement. I'm torn because of my children, but I had to make this decision for my sanity and health. It's a relief. And for the first time since all of this happened, I feel in control of at least my own actions. And it feels really good. I had to ask myself if I could live with what happened, and my answer keeps being a resounding hell no. So, I'm moving on to the next chapter of my journey. I want to express my gratitude to all the good people on this site for being a shoulder to cry on, offering prayers, providing advice, and just being there to vent. God bless you all. Reader comment: was she sad or just shocked and accepted it with little to no emotion or resistance? I'm just curious, although I know it doesn't matter now. Also, have you told the children yet? And if so, in a sanitized way, did you explain the reason for divorcing your WW? Anyway, good luck on your new life journey, and I hope you stay here to help others in the future with your experience. Original poster: she was shocked, crying, remorseful, begging, and the whole emotional spectrum. In fact, I had to gently separate from her when I was leaving. We informed the kids that I was moving out and that we're getting a divorce, a conversation that tore my heart apart. However, we decided not to disclose the whole unfiltered truth to them right now. We don't want them to blame their mother, and we figure that when they're adults, if it's necessary, we'll share all the details with them. I've moved into the same subdivision to stay close, ensuring the kids don't feel abandoned. At least for now, my ex and I agree that the stability of the kids is the top priority during this part of the process. I just wish she had thought about them before deciding to have an affair. Reader comment: did you communicate to her that you felt like you didn't get the complete truth? Did you let her know that the responsibility was on her to prove that you had the whole truth, and until that happened, you couldn't stay? Original poster: yes, I made it clear to her that I believe she hasn't told me everything, and honestly at this point, I wouldn't trust anything she says. Even if I were to believe what she told me, the fact that she cheated is reason enough for me to move on. Perhaps I may forgive her someday, but that doesn't mean I have to continue living with her and the memories of what transpired with another man. I won't accept anything less than 100% faithfulness, and I believe nobody else should either. We all have reasons to be unhappy in our relationships. None of us are perfect. However, we can still be loyal and faithful, working through our problems without involving others in such a way. Just saying. Reader comment: I've silently been cheering for you. It's been 3 years for me, and I'm still with my wayward husband, WH, and it seems he's taking his lies to the grave too. I got blamed for both dating sites I discovered him on. Before I found the second dating site, I accidentally came across a text with a hotel name and room number. He thought I was the one seeking other guys because I wasn't attentive enough to him, so he went looking for me on the site. We call that mental abuse. Not only are they up to no good, but they also make it our fault. People often see in others what's in their own hearts. That's why you never suspected in 25 years. And why she believes you are capable, because she is. Have you talked to this loser's wife? Original poster: the guy has no wife. He's divorced, which is probably why he has time to spend with other men's wives. I called him and made it clear that if I ever see his face, it could spell the end of him, if you catch my drift. It's not just that he cheated with my wife, it's the fact that he disrespected me, knowing she was married. To add to it, he's a somewhat well-known TV personality in South Florida, always preaching family-first ideals while selling his business model to the masses. Yet in private, he's tearing apart families. What's ironic is that I'm not a bad-looking guy, and women have hit on me from time to time. Even though I wore my wedding ring 24/7, I never entertained them because it disgusted me that they'd think I was a cheater willing to risk my marriage for some empty promises. I certainly wouldn't even think of discussing my marriage issues with another woman for all the obvious reasons. I guess my old-fashioned way of thinking isn't in vogue these days. Well, my wayward wife, WW, has finally realized that her actions do have consequences. I mustered the courage to call her parents, sisters, aunts, and my family members to inform them about what has happened, me moving out and filing for divorce. They were all shocked and couldn't believe what she had done, as they all believed we were soulmates. I initially didn't want to share the details with our family to avoid shaming her, but it's all out in the open now. Since I moved out, she's been calling me non-stop, day and night, pleading for me to come home. She consistently uses the kids' distress as a way to convince me to return. I must admit, the pain my kids are experiencing is the only thing that bothers me. But I'll have to push through this because I've come to realize that being with someone for any reason other than true love is not worth my time. I'm unsure if I'll ever be able to love another woman as I loved my WW. But if not, at least I'll be true to myself. And hopefully, my children will understand this one day. Reader comment: instead of using the kids to lure you back, has she at least apologized to your family for her betrayal? Is she ashamed or just angry that you exposed her? Or both? Or did she anticipate that at some point you were going to tell them? Original poster: she didn't expect me to tell the family because she believed I would stay with her, and she thought I'd be too embarrassed to disclose anything. Now she's upset that I exposed her. She has apologized to the family, but they are in shock, just like I was. From what I hear from them, they are being tough on her, even her own parents. You're right. A good parent considers their kids before taking any action that could hurt them. Update. Since moving out, I feel better. I still miss her, of course, because I was, and I guess still am, in love with her. However, I won't reconsider the divorce at this point. She continues to call and text every day, all day, but I'm done, and I think she realizes the reality of the situation now. I feel empowered to live my life for myself. I don't even care to know the reasons why she did it anymore, and it really doesn't matter. I've decided not to date anyone for a while until the divorce is finalized. It just feels right to me, if you know what I mean. Engaging in workouts and refocusing on work has been helpful. During the quiet times when my mind starts to wander into the crazy train, I make an effort to focus on other things or spend time with friends to distract myself from thoughts of her. In short, everything is good. I see this as a new beginning rather than the end of my life. There's no way I'm just going to lay down and die. May you all find love and peace. Reader comment. It seems like you're in a much stronger and healthier place now. Kudos for taking the plunge and doing what's right for you. I'm also on my way out of infidelity and am already feeling better for it. My wayward husband is not yet accepting that our separation is permanent. How long did it take your wayward wife to get to that point? What was her reaction? One of my friends thinks he will turn to anger when it hits home for him. Original poster. She's still in denial about the divorce and believes she can win me back with her constant texts and phone calls. However, I do notice that her anger surfaces at times, and I think it's a mix of fear and rejection. It stings a bit when the person you love no longer wants you. I suppose that's why when we get cheated on by our supposed soulmate, we go through all those feelings of anger, rage, sadness, self-loathing, and so many other terrible emotions. Yes, be prepared for the anger, as it's a mechanism he will likely use to try to scare you into taking him back. It may seem pointless and counterproductive, but he may employ every emotion, including guilt, to make you reconsider. My wayward wife, WW, uses my kids against me, which I never thought would happen, just as I never thought she would do what she did. She's even stooped so low as to have one of her attractive friends try to seduce me so she can claim I cheated too. Her friend told me about it. It's a bizarre situation, but true. Be ready for anything. She asked her friend, whom I've known for 26 years, to come over and console me with sex. Conniving is definitely the word for it. If you truly love someone, you don't have friends sleep with your spouse. Sometimes this whole thing feels surreal and disgusting. When her friend confessed to the setup, she also admitted she had known about the affair for some time. She swears it was just an emotional affair, EA, and she said my wayward wife, WW, never planned on leaving me. She just wanted to have some fun. I'm not sure if it's the truth, but like I said, it doesn't matter anymore. In hindsight, I believe the only friends I'll have from now on are the ones who are truthful and honest, even if it's tough to hear. I'm done with the two-faced, honey-pouring liars. It's true that cheaters never tell you the whole truth. While I've moved out and filed for divorce, I have more free time on my hands and am still trying to uncover more evidence of the affair. Lo and behold, after she claimed she had no contact, NC, with the affair partner, AP, I found more evidence on his Facebook page showing they were still in contact months after the supposed end of the affair. This just goes to show I made the right decision. You just can't trust a cheater, even after they get caught. The best part is, when she gets the divorce papers delivered, I'll include all the additional evidence I've found, and I hope she chokes on it. Update. Tonight I finally broke down, feeling all the pain of this awful mess. I'm drunk, and the night might not end positively for me. Still, I'm not going back, and I'll endure the suffering on my own before returning to that situation. I knew this moment was coming, and I hope it passes before it breaks me. I need you folks to pray for me to have the strength to get through it. Thank you. I probably shouldn't be listening to Jake Owens when you love someone. It means a lot when you've been cheated on. Oh yes, screw Facebook. I made it through my drunken, self-loathing breakdown, and now I'm back to the daily routine of living. That was a close call. I had some dark thoughts running through my mind. I'll be all right. My kids need me, and I won't let a cheating person take that away from me. On a lighter note, I met a nice lady, went on a date, and during dinner, she revealed she was married with an open marriage. I threw a $100 bill at her and left. People are crazy. I might have to go to a nunnery to find a normal woman, geez. Update. Managed to get through Thanksgiving, although I burnt my first turkey, undercooked the stuffing, and pretty much messed up the whole meal for me and my kids. I gave up and took them to the casino for our favorite buffet. We walked the beach and talked for hours. Both of them confessed that their mother coached them to beg me to come home, which I find unbelievable. In my mind, she shouldn't even ask for that. That being said, I'm doing well and just trying to move on with living. The most challenging part is that because we have 2 young children, I have to communicate with her all the time, and I don't want to talk to her at all. My kids still don't understand and are having a tough time dealing with it, but they know I love them, and that's all I can promise them at this point. Let's see how I get through Christmas. This time, I won't cook.